just acting up now. Come on. Alright. Let me double check and make sure that my stream is working. Alright, looks good. Looks good. Come on. Alright, a little out of my element. Streaming in the middle of the week. Not usually my standard deal. But I decided to make time for this because I was specifically invited to the Owcat Q&A for this version of the beta, the newest version. It's actually been under embargo for the past week. And so I couldn't share any information until just now. But for this stream, I'm not actually going to start the game. I'm just going to go over the character creation. And I'm going to explore all the stuff that was covered in the Q&A, all the press kit stuff, all the stuff that was revealed. Not a lot of it was new to me, because I am a Kickstarter, so I get a lot of the emails that has already provided the information shared. But there's some really neat stuff here. So they changed this. When I first booted up this the beta previously, it had the Stolen Lands and Varnhold's Lot campaigns available. Obviously, I carry over from the previous game, but yeah, I don't know if any of these are different. I don't have the settings memorized because I always played on challenging, which is now core, which is great. I like the change in the name to core. All right, so character creation. There's some pre-made characters, of course. So a cavalier, a cleric, fighter, rogue, and slayer. Human, tiefling, gnome, human again, Oread, and half-elf. Oread is one of the new races in Wrath of the Righteous. It was one of the Kickstarter goals, along with the Dompier. I don't actually know if I'm pronouncing that right. The half-vampire race. I don't know if that's in the beta yet. I haven't actually checked. It is. Alright. So create a custom character here, of course. So this is really cool. They've added more portraits since the last time I booted the game up as well. This was the there's only these 5, I think, when I first launched the game. But now they've added a ton more. So here's another. I really like that Oread one right here. And that one, that's really cool. So I assume this is a Dompier. I don't actually know what they look like. Even that's what I intend on playing when I eventually play through the game. I really like this one too. Pathfinder's in a lot of the mixed reviews from Pathfinder Kingmaker are from when the game's launch, when it was really buggy. It's no longer in that state. It's very stable. I won't say you won't run across any bugs, but they're very few and far between. I've beaten the game 3 times, and I've run across 1 bug, and it was just a side quest. It wasn't a big deal. I'm gonna exit this real quick. I want to turn this down a little bit more. And then 1 second, sorry. I'm really excited about this. So normally I wouldn't touch a beta game or a game in early access, but since I was specifically invited by Owcat to participate in their Q&A, I figured I'd make a special exception here. But yeah, anyway, alright. Let's get back to the character creation. Because that's what we're going to explore here. Custom character, portrait. So yeah, anyway, then they have all the other portraits from Kingmaker, of course. All those are still available, but you can also use the characters from Kingmaker, which I think is really cool because my favorite portraits from Kingmaker were actually some of the enemies. Armag and... I think his name is Durlog, right? No, that's Baldur's Gate. It starts with a D. I'm glad to hear that, Moondragon. We'll be Let's Playing this when it comes out in September. Because because their initial estimated release date was June. It's been pushed back till September. The information was just released to the public today. But yeah, some of my favorite portraits from the first game were ones you couldn't use. These two specifically. I also really like the Stag Lord. In fact, the Stag Lord is my favorite enemy in the first not Baldur's Gate, first Pathfinder. It's a shame that he was the first boss, but he felt the best. Yeah, I'm digging these new portraits. I really like this one too. This is actually the most accurate representation of my face I've seen in any video game. Well, not face, but like beard and hairstyle. I'm not that bulky in the face, but yeah. So, very good chance this is the portrait we'll be using when I let's play the game. I also really like this one. So, anyway, so classes. A lot of new classes, a lot of new subclasses in the game. I don't know if they've all been added yet. So here, the Incense Synthesizer, Metamorph, and Preservationist are new to the Alchemist for Wrath of the Righteous. Chirurgeon, Grenader, and Vivisectionist were all in Kingmaker. Most builds actually utilize the Vivisectionist if you're trying to be optimal. Arcanist. These are all new. We'll take a look at all these in a second. I just want to look at the whole list first. Barbarian, what's new? Beastskin, Berserker, Instinctual Warrior, and Pack Rager. Alright, and then the Bard, what's new here? Tranquil Whisper's new, Dirge Bard, and Beast Tamer. Let's see, Blood Rager is just entirely new, an entirely new class to Wrath of the Righteous. Steelblood sounds cool. Yep, I do like my heavy armor, so if I play a Blood Rager, which I might, that might be my second playthrough. So I like my heavy armor. The Cavalier, here we go. This is the class I was the most excited about. And yeah, it's entirely new to Wrath of the Righteous. Now in the Q&A, I did ask if new weapon types will be added to the game, like the Lance for the Cavalier. They said there are no plans right now. Actually, I think he just said straight up no. Which is a shame, because Cavaliers are supposed to specialize using a Lance. So I guess they'll just use a long spear in its stead. Well, you're in luck, because there's a ton of Bard classes here. And then there's also other classes that kind of work like a Bard. I'm assuming the Pack Rager either works like a Bard or like a... an Inquisitor. But yeah, anyway, the Cavalier, what I'm most excited about. I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet. I'm split between the Gendarme and the Knight of the Wall. These are the two I'm leaning towards. Also, I really like the outfit for the Cavalier here, too. I like the singular pauldron there. Looks pretty cool. Alright, anyway, Cleric. New Cleric classes, Angel Fire Apostle, Devilbane Priest, and the Priest of Balance. Druids. The Drovier, or Drovier, Elemental Rampager are the only two new ones. I think they said the minimum amount of subclasses for any class will be 5. I don't know if they're aiming to give them all 6 by the time this comes out. That's not something that I asked, or that was asked in the Q&A that I attended. So fighter, new fighter, Dragonair Scion, sounds pretty cool. A Mutation Warrior. An Armiger. Yeah, went right past that one. Nope, it's Wednesday. You missed my my notification. I am doing a special thing, because this was just released today. I attended a Q&A for this last week, but it's been under embargo or an NDA for the past week, and until today. So I'm going to talk about it, because Owcat invited me to a special Q&A, and I'm really excited. Alright, so Hunter. New Hunter classes, Colluding Scoundrel, Forester, Wait, actually, I don't know. No, Hunter is just a whole new class. Never mind. I was thinking Ranger. Yeah, Hunter is just new. What's the difference between a Hunter and a Ranger? Teamwork feats? Well, it's not here. It's still in beta. The release date got pushed back till September from June. Which is good news for me, because that means my schedule's a little more open than I thought it was going to be. So that means Solasta fits into my schedule a little better. But yeah. Alright, so Inquisitor new classes. Sanctified Slayer and Faith Hunter are the two new classes for that. I'm pretty sure. Also, I really like the Oread and the Inquisitor outfit. That looks really cool. But yeah, we'll look at these a little bit more in depth. I just want to go through all of them first. Yeah, I was really excited. Well, it wasn't Owcat specifically. It was the PR firm, I think, that they hired for it. But yeah, they invited me. They invited a lot of, like, press, like, journalists and stuff to it. But yeah, I was really excited about it. So I figured, hey, I should show this off. Don't want to be stingy with what I know. I'm also going to go over all the stuff they showed me with the Q&A and the press kit. So we'll go through all the classes. I'll go show you all that stuff. Then we'll look at the classes in more depth after that. Alright, so new Kineticist classes. Blood Kineticist, Elemental Engine, and Overwhelming Soul. So how does this... So it doesn't do burn damage, I assume, right? Mind over matter. Charisma instead of Constitution. Interesting. Alright, anyway, Magus. New Magus classes: Spelldancer, Hexcrafter, Arcane Rider. Wait. Yeah, there's 7 new classes, or 3 new classes, 4 new classes. Arcane Rider, Spelldancer, Hexcrafter. Oh, the Armored Battle Mage. What am I? I kept looking right past it. Monks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 4 new classes here as well. The Sohei? Student of Stone, Traditional Monk, and I guess the Zen Archer. I know one of the companions is supposed to be a Zen Archer as well. Oracle is an entirely new class to Wrath of the Righteous. I really like that headdress. It's really cool. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subclasses. Paladin, best class in the game. With 3 new classes. Let's see, Divine Scion, Martyr, and Warrior of the Holy Light. Great. Oh, my internet doesn't cut out. My power cut out yesterday, so I'm hoping it stays on today. Well, I know Dompier's half vampire. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Of course, now my internet's acting funky. Great. Great. Ranger, new classes: Nomad, Espionage Expert, and Demon Slayer. Pretty fitting for this campaign. Rogue, Rowdy, Underground Chemist, Master of All. Oh, is it limited to half-elf? Oh, there's classes limited to races. Neat. So I wonder if the monk, Master of Student of Stone, yeah, it's probably an Oread, right? Yeah. Neat. I actually like that. It's like the Dwarven Defender from Baldur's Gate. Also, the Sylvan Trickster, I think, is new. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Not super familiar with the rogue classes. I don't really care for rogues. So Shaman's an entirely new class to Wrath of the Righteous with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subclasses. Scald is also new with 5 subclasses. It's not new if you use the mods. I know some people played with the mods. I don't know how the classes will compare, how like everything will be implemented, if it'll be the same as the mod or not. I'm sure there'll be some differences, so. Slayer, let's see. Shoot, what were the Slayer classes? I'm not very familiar with it because that was a newer class in Kingmaker. I know Deliverer was one of them. I think Spawn Slayer was one of the ones in Kingmaker. And I think Vanguard. So I'm going to say Arcane Enforcer, Executioner, and Stygian Slayer and Imitator are new to the Wrath of the Righteous. Alright, Sorcerer, what do we have here? Cross-Blooded, Nine-Tailed Heir. So I wonder if there's going to be at least one class that's unique to a certain race, because I'll have to go back through and look at that again. I didn't pay that much attention. Yeah, Cross-Blooded is new. Seeker is new. Nine-Tailed Heir is new. Was Sage in the first one? I didn't pay much attention to the Sorcerers either. I don't really care for Spellcasters. That's not my jam. War Priest is an entirely new class to Wrath of the Righteous as well. Champion of the Faith, Cult Leader, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Showbearer sounds cool. But yeah, 6 classes, subclasses for the War Priest. It's actually 7 classes because you have the base class as well. So whenever I give you a number, add 1 to that. Witch is entirely new. I thought they said a minimum of 5. This only has 4 subclasses. Or archetypes, whatever you want to call them. And the Wizard also only has 4. What if that's an alphabetical thing? They just haven't implemented the 5th class for the 2 bottom classes yet. So new prestige classes. The Winter Witch, the Hell Knight, the Assassin? Assassin wasn't the first one. Hell Knight Signifier, which is like a spellcaster version of the Hell Knight. Student of War is also new. I'd say Paladin's the best. But yeah, in this case, Cavalier is going to be the best. Really excited for the Gendarme. So that's all the classes. I'm going to jump to the Q&A stuff real fast, just to showcase it. So this is the stuff that they gave me, this is all like press kit stuff that I wasn't allowed to show until... Come on. There we go. So we'll look and watch all this stuff, then we'll go through the classes in more detail. And I'll go over some of the Q&A stuff as well, some of the questions that were asked and answered on the during it. So just so I don't disappoint anybody going forward, I'm not going to actually start the campaign. I'm going to save... I don't want to spoil anything for myself before the game comes out in September. Hey, you can rotate the camera 360 degrees now, so it's not just a truly isometric game. You're not locked into a single angle. And I do think the music in Wrath of the Righteous is a step up from Kingmaker. For sure. I've never played the tabletop. One day maybe I'll get to. Yeah, so actually I asked about the pets in the Q&A. I asked if there's going to be more options for pets like aesthetics, renaming, and armor. The creative director, Alexander Michelin, was the one who was answering the questions. He said that they weren't going to add like different skins. He said that there might be armor for the companions, and they're working on the ability to rename your animal companions. But it hasn't been implemented yet. But that is something they want to do. Since in this game, in Wrath of the Righteous, since you can use them as mounts, they're going to play a more prominent role. So that's why I asked those questions, because, you know, if I'm going to be playing a Cavalier, I want my horse to be named, you know, Bucephalus or Rosinante or something, you know? I don't know, I haven't made it past character creation. I'm not going to start the campaign because I don't want to spoil anything for myself before the full release. I didn't ask about that. I think it's going to probably be the same as the first one. Sorry if this is too loud. I'll turn it down a little bit because I'm trying to talk over that. But yeah, I don't know if there's going to be more romance options or love interest or anything like that. It's not something I typically look for in a game. But I would guess it's going to be the same amount as the first one. Yes, I'll go back and show the character portraits in a second. Yes, release date has been pushed back to September 2nd. I believe it's the 2nd. It's September for sure, but they pushed it back from June. Rosinante, the Don Quixote's horse. I don't know what Rocinante is. Yeah, so for the character portraits, they have some new ones for Wrath of the Righteous, and you can use all the ones from Kingmaker, as well as all the NPC portraits from Kingmaker as well. So like Armag, King Iravetti, Mordecai, the Stag Lord. No, this is not a direct sequel. This is a different campaign altogether. So we'll be a new character. They said there might be some recurring characters. I can't vouch that yet because I haven't played the game yet. So no console version yet. They'll probably do the same thing with Kingmaker. Release the PC port, and then pursue console after that. Alright, so that's that. Yeah, let's go back to the character portraits. Yeah, so these are the new portraits for this game. In fact, I think just today they added... what? 5, 6, these 8. Speaking of Vampire Hunter D, I'm a really big fan of this one. Because he kind of looks like me. Even has kind of the, looks like he has a longer nose like I do. Maybe broken. I have a broken nose. We'll see. But yeah, then you can also use all the original Kingmaker portraits. And you can use all the NPC portraits from Kingmaker as well. So Armag's one of my favorites from the first one. As is the Stag Lord and Cephal. I think Cephal's got a really good portrait. Both scarred and unscarred version of Valerie. Blind and unblind version of Tristian. Or Tristian. Good old Iravetti. I will go show that now. Well, we'll get to that. I have a list of all the companion portraits. Let's look at these first. Just some images. I'm gonna showcase everything they gave me in the press kits from the Q&A and for this beta. Yeah, that's what the Cavalier is all about. So I'm gonna play the Gendarme. Hello. We could play Tartuccio. I wonder if there's a way to become a kobold. Become Tartuk. Sorry, I meant to sit on that a little longer. Really take in the portraits for a minute. Oh, is that what Rosinante means from Don Quixote? Because you spelled it different than what I'm familiar with. That's why I didn't recognize. No, I'm not playing any of the game until it's fully released. I'm not going to spoil it for myself. I feel like I already know more than I should because I'm a Kickstarter. So a lot of this information I was already familiar with anyway because they send out those Kickstarter emails. And I do peruse those. Yeah. Yeah, Rosinante. Oh, you spelled it different than I am familiar with it. That's why I didn't recognize it. But yeah. Don Quixote is the world's greatest knight. The last pillar of chivalry. Yeah, that's what I think most people should do. But I play it so slowly because I do Let's Plays. It, by the time I get to any point in the game, it'll be patched, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But he's a fun character. And may or may not be what I name my character when I start this game. Since I will be playing a Cavalier after all. Alright, so we looked at all those pictures. These are, let's see, what are the graphic assets? What do we got here? Here's the companions. So how many portraits do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 companions. Whoever asked that earlier. And we have their names. Aru Shalai, Camellia, Dairin, Ember, Greybor, Lan, Ninio, Regil, Sila, Sosiul, Wenduag, and Woljif. What about Rosinante? Like this. Because that's how I thought Don Quixote's steed's name was spelled. Yeah, a lot of these I've already seen because they've sent them out Kickstarter updates. I don't recognize some of them, though. I like the background of this one. It's very Magic the Gathering. I like his portrait too. It's a cool looking dude. So this is another race. I don't think you can play as the Mongol if they have any intentions of letting us play as the Mongol race. I have to look back at the character creation. It may not have been implemented yet. What means I'm insane? Rosinante? Do not care for this character at all. Not gonna lie. Don't care for the anime style hair. He reminds me, I get some Champions of Norath vibes from this art between the background and him. And this is one of the reasons why I won't be playing a paladin in my first playthrough. As fitting as it would be for Wrath of the Righteous, you have a paladin companion. It'd be a little redundant. Plus, I've already done a paladin Let's Play in Kingmaker, so... Cavalier. We'll be playing a Cavalier. Redemption. I never played Redemption, so I don't know. I like him. This is a cool looking portrait. What is he? A human cleric. He looks cool. So this is another mongrel, just like Lan is. Lan is one of the new classes, the Zen Monk. She is a ranger. I guess I could also go through and read what their things are. So he's a rogue, a tiefling rogue. How typical. I like the background, though. I like the moon. So Ninio is going to be a wizard. Regel's a Hell Knight. Seela's a paladin. Soso's a cleric. Wenduag is a ranger. Woljif is a tiefling, or is a rogue. Lan is the Zen monk. Greybor is a slayer. Cool. Ember is an elf. Darren's an oracle. Camellia is a shaman. And Arishalai is a ranger. 2 rangers. It's interesting. It's in beta for a while. This is just the newest version of the beta. Yeah, Wenduag is looks interesting for sure. I did ask if you could miss companions in this game like you could Jubilost in the first one. He said not quite. You can still miss companions, but I think they should all still be on the main path. So it won't be like Jubilost, we have to explore some side area, and some people just walked right past them. So not for my first playthrough. I don't like to multi-class my first playthrough. I like to keep it simple. Yeah, that was the first beta. This is the I'm gonna be doing a Cavalier for my first playthrough. So these are the portraits for the current Mystic paths. These aren't all, or sorry, not Mystic, Mythic paths. This is not all of them. This is just what's in the beta currently. You have the Aeon, which looks super cool. Angel also looks super cool. All of them look super cool. I'm gonna just stop saying it. The Azada. The Demon. Oops, sorry, I dropped my headset. The Lich. Which, since you can use Mordecai's portrait, you know, you could make that work. Though you can't be a Cyclops. But you can use his portrait. You play this jerk. Wait a second. Where's what's his face? There's another portrait that we don't have. You can play Hargolka. Yes, there's mounts in this one. Anyway, the Mythic Trickster. And that's all the current Mythic paths. There are going to be more. I know of at least one more, which is going to be the one that I pursue for my first playthrough anyway. At some point, I will do the Lich, because the Lich just sounds awesome. Alright, then screenshots. What do we have here? These are different than the last series of screenshots we looked at. But yeah, mounts for paladins, cavaliers. They do have different sized mounts for different sized races. So like gnomes and halflings will be able to ride smaller mounts like I forgot what he mentioned. But yeah, there's different sized mounts as well. The Beast Rider can ride larger mounts, which is one of the cavalier classes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It was very Bioshock, right? Very Bioshock Infinite. Oh, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are another mount you can have. Another animal companion. That was one of the Kickstarter goals as well, and they did make it to the dinosaurs. So if you like dinosaurs, well, you're in for a treat. Oh, there's also dismemberment. They added dismemberment to the game, so cutting off arms, heads, legs, cutting people in half will be implemented in the game as well. A lot of these are pictures are from the PowerPoint they showed us during the Q&A. Same here. Same here. Look at this. And the game looks really pretty. I'm really excited for it. I mean, maybe. So that's what Wengalag, is that her name? I already forgot her name. That's what she looks like in game. He looks like the cleric over here. That's the tiefling thief, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the elf witch with the raven. So I see some, let's say a bird in her hand right there. Yeah, the full voice might be a little bit, a little ambitious. It's still Unity. It's the same engine. That's why they're just improving. They're building on what they know and making it better. Because last time, that was their first game, Kingmaker was, I think. I read somewhere they made another game beforehand, but I couldn't find anything online. Kingmaker was the first one that I could find. Which one? This one? Yeah. Well, it's all about demons. It is Wrath of the Righteous, so. Yeah, I don't know if I want to have relations with a spider chick because, you know, how spiders are. I think in the beta right now it's 4 chapters. Don't quote me on that. But it's about 60 hours of gameplay currently. And there's still more to come. The end game isn't available yet. Oh, absolutely. The only downside I think they have with the Unity engine is the save bloat because the game is so long. Like CRPGs just are long in general. And so the Unity engine has all that save bloat, and once you get to late game, like loading times are just so extreme. I'm assuming they're gonna try and work around that. Supposedly this campaign won't be as long as Kingmaker's, so hopefully that won't be as big of a issue. So instead of the kingdom management, there is a Heroes of Might and Magic style Crusade. I think it's called the Crusades, where instead of managing a kingdom, you manage an army. One of the questions asked was how customizable is the army? On an individual unit basis, it's not very customizable. Like you can't change their equipment and stuff. But they said there will be a ton of units. So the army as a whole will be extremely customizable. There's a lot of units according to them. They didn't show any of that. But yeah, this is the new system. This is still an alpha. You can see here, like all the portraits aren't up there and stuff like that. Like this isn't fully realized yet. So I'm really excited about this. It's a lot more hands-on than the kingdom management is, and there are ways to like buff and change your army based on buildings that you build. There'll be some sort of building management, but it's all for your army, I think. So that'll be fun. Also, there'll be like spells and stuff you can cast here. You can see here. It looks like Shield of Faith, but it might be something else. They said you can like call lightning down on the enemies, stuff like that. And this looks really cool. There's a lot going on. I didn't really care for the first world in Kingmaker because there's just like so much like stuff going on and like color saturation. But this looks a little bit crisper than the first world did. Which, I mean, it makes sense in the first world. It's supposed to be like this, you know, almost dreamlike realm. But yeah, looks pretty neat. A lot of good stuff here. I think that's all those folders. What do we have here? So these are the presentations we have. We already looked at those. What, did we look at these already? All right, come back to that. What is this? This is 13 minutes. So I wonder if this is just be a comparison to the alpha roll that we saw at the beginning. Yes, Baldur's Gate 3 I will play when it comes out. So they did say that they're going to try and make like the tutorials in this game a little better than were in Kingmaker. Like it's supposed to be easier to learn. I don't know exactly how they're going to implement that yet. But they say that is something they're going to strive to do. I don't see why not. There's always going to be a way to do a solo run in a CRPG. There's always going to be someone who figures it out. It won't be me. I like having my party, but that's really cool. Well, there's still a ton of character options. I'm going to go back over those after we look at this stuff. Look at them in a little bit more detail. I also want to see if all the races have been incorporated in the beta yet. I think there's only 2 new races, right? It's just the Dompier and the Oread. And the Kitsune. Or Kitsune, I don't know how you pronounce it. Personally, I wanted the Rat Folk. I didn't want the Fox Folk. I didn't see it when I went through the classes earlier, but I may have missed it. So I think all the classes that are going to be incorporated are in now. I don't think all the archetypes have been added yet. Of course, there's also DLC. They added some classes with DLCs and expansions for Kingmaker. Nope, no Dragonkin. That wasn't one of the Kickstarter goals, but there's always DLC. They added the Tieflings with wild cards. Yeah, I wonder if you play a Druid, if that affects your army. Because you get that Crusade army. I wonder if you can have like an army, like a nature-based army if you're a Druid. Human fighter? No. I'm doing a cavalier. I mean, I might do a fighter at some point, but no, I think cavalier and I think the war priest might be a couple of my first 2 playthroughs. I don't know how many playthroughs I'll do this time. Depends how many editions of the game they release. If they do like an enhanced edition or whatever. Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, like my martial classes. And use spellcasters to supplement my martial classes. Spellcasters are only there to support my melee characters. Yeah, I don't see why not. Did the mods in Kingmaker add races? I know they added classes, but I never played with any of the mods in the first one. It's both. Like Kingmaker, so Kingmaker has both real time with pause with turn-based, and you can swap on the fly. This is going to have the same thing. It hasn't been implemented into the beta yet, but on full release they will have the turn-based with real time with pause that you can just swap with. You just press a button. I think it's T actually. I assume so. I don't see why it wouldn't change the way you look, especially like an angel, like you'd have wings at least. Yeah, I'm looking for the Cavalier is just one of my favorite classes. I like any class, any frontline class that inspires their allies. And, you know, Cavalier, Paladin, they're right up there, so. I do think the text is a little small right there. Hopefully there's a slider to make that bigger, because I'm gonna have trouble reading that out loud. Yeah, I am really sad they're not gonna add lances to the game, because I mean that's kind of a Cavalier's whole shtick. But maybe later. But for right now, they said no. But yeah, I don't know the last time I was this excited for a game. I am glad they pushed it back to September though, because I did think the June release date was a little optimistic, but it's since been pushed back. Well, I'm not trying to play alignment restricted this time. That's why I'm kind of glad I'm not playing a paladin. I can just kind of do things as I see fit as I go. That's one downside to playing a paladin, especially in your first playthrough, is you're stuck to lawful good, and that doesn't make for a very good like, I don't know, first playthrough, because you're kind of locked into your decision making already. But yeah, they said that no matter what, so in the Q&A they mentioned, no matter what mythic path you take, it will still benefit your class. So like if you're a fighter and you have no spellcasting ability, if you go the Lich path, you can still get abilities that allow you to drain health from enemies with your attacks. You can still summon the undead, of course, and things like that. So so every mythic path will synergize with any class. Obviously other synergies will be better, like if you go a spellcaster class with Lich, it gives you access to more powerful spells. I think it increases your spellcaster level or something like that. So yeah, it sounds like they've thought about just about everything. You know, they're not gonna leave you hanging. They're not gonna gimp you if you choose a mythic path that doesn't you know, complement your main class. Not one that's in the game yet. I don't really want to spoil anything yet because it was kind of a footnote. It wasn't like a full announcement. Supposedly it's really hard to get. I think it depends on the class. I think Paladin and Cavalier can probably do it from level 1. I'm gonna look at the classes when I go back into the game. But I think a couple classes can do it from the get-go. Others might require a specific feat. That's all good, man. Also, good evening. Right, no kingdom management, but there is a Crusade mechanic where you control an army. Like, it's very reminiscent of Heroes of Might and Magic, like the strategy-based gameplay from that game. But it's a lot more hands-on and interactive. I assume there's going to be an auto mode as well if you don't want to deal with it. Against evil enemies, yeah. If you're playing a paladin. But I didn't usually use it against normal foes in Kingmaker. Try to save it for like the big baddies, but it lasted until combat ends, unless they changed it Wrath of the Righteous. But in Kingmaker, it lasted until combat ended, so you could use it as often as you wanted. Oh, are you talking to me, Alistair? Well, thank you. Yeah, you guys almost got to see my face, because I did show my face. I had a webcam on for the Q&A, but they took out everyone else's videos, so you don't get to see it. You can thank Owcat, or the PR firm that they used for that. This is Wrath of the Righteous. Owcat's second game after Kingmaker. Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Yeah, and then most people didn't even realize that from the get-go. If you mean Grand Theft Auto, then no. I actually don't like Grand Theft Auto. I didn't like a Grand Theft Auto after 4. I only played 3 and 4. And Vice City, and San Andreas. So I did play 4 of them. Well, they did just push it back, what? How many months? Three months? And they, people that have played the beta have already said that the beta is in a better position than Kingmaker was on launch. And it's still in beta, so. Whoops, what was that? Yeah, here. Alright, that was fun. What else have we got? That's it for this one. Are these the same screenshots? These are the same screenshots they already showed me. Same beta roll, and same screenshots. Yeah, so this is the video where I had a Q&A with the creative
access before
creative director. I'm not going to let this play. It's 2 hours long. So yeah, we had a Q&A with this guy. He's the creative director behind Wrath of the Righteous. And that's that. So I'm Chris Nichols. Alright, so let's go through and actually make a character real fast. Let's go with the Irvedi. So I do want to check one thing real quick. I want to see if there is a unique class for each race. Yes, the Phantasmal Mage requires a gnome. It's like a gnome illusionist from Baldur's Gate, I assume. What do we have here? Reformed Fiend is a Tiefling. A Tiefling locked class. Spelldancer is an elf. So that's locked to elves. Student of Stone is locked to the Oread, of course. That makes sense. Purifier is locked to Aasimar. What else do we got? Master of All is locked to the Half-Elf. While then Shaman is locked to the Half-Orc. Imitator is locked to Human. Nine-Tailed Heir is obviously locked to the Kitsune. Or Kitsune. I still don't know how to say that. But yeah, there you go. Alright. The tactical combat, they didn't go into a lot of detail. They just said it is reminiscent of Heroes of Might and Magic. You can't customize the individual units, but they said there will be a ton of separate units for the army. So not individual customization, but an overall wide variety for your entire army. But yeah, I do want to check one thing with the Cavalier. Let's see. So it looks like everything should be the same except for the new races. Let's see what the new races do. So Oread, slow movement, dwarf blooded. I assume you can change that. Base speed of 20 feet, but their speed is never modified by armor or encumbrance. Keen senses, dwarves, elves, gnomes, half-elves, half... Yeah, okay. +2 racial bonus on perception checks. Have 5 acid resist. Increases the DC against acid descriptor-based spells by 1. And Oread Heritage. Genie can trace their lineage to beings from various elemental planes, so their progenitors are typically genies. This ancestry can derive from a number of elemental creatures for the Oread the genie. You think you can change that? Yeah. Dompier Heritage. Different heritages. There's a heritage that gives you +2 to strength and charisma, but -2 to constitution. That's the one I plan on using. It starts with an M. I already forgot what it's called. What's going on, big idiot? It's a negative energy affinity. Though living creature, Dompier likes positive negative energies if you're undead. Okay, that's fine. Actually, let me go back. Never mind, it's fine. Let's make him a male. Dompier takes no penalties from energy drain effects. I'm so excited about that. Undead resistance, gain a +2 racial bonus when saving throws against disease and mind-affecting abilities or effects. The Kitsune. Different heritages for that. Kitsune Magic. Add +1 to the DC of any saving throws against enchantment spells that they cast. Kitsune with a charisma score of 11 or higher. For Keen Kitsune, it is intelligence instead of charisma. Gain the light spell-like ability to use 3 times per day. Keen senses, dwarves, elves, gnomes, half-elves, half-orcs, halflings, oreads receive a +2 to perception checks. Agile, +2 racial bonus on mobility checks. And change shape. Kitsune can assume the appearance of a specific single human form of the same sex. The Kitsune always takes a specific form when she uses this ability. The Kitsune in human form cannot use her bite attack. Changing shape is a standard action. Well, that's kind of cool. I wonder if that actually has any ramifications in-game. Yeah, right? Yeah, I wanted the rat folk too. I wanted to play a Skaven. I didn't want a Kitsune. But we knew who was gonna win. Alright, as soon as they opened up the polls, we knew it was gonna happen. Yeah, so let's go with the Dompier here. So the Mori board. These are the ones that have a +2 to strength and charisma, -2 penalty to constitution, and a +2 racial bonus on persuasion, One used for diplomacy and a knowledge world checks. So I do want to check this out. How do I go over here? Can I go over here? So Cavalier starts with an animal companion. It doesn't say he can immediately mount him. But yeah, I'm assuming he can mount from level 1. They do not. They don't have keen senses, do they? Let me go back. No, just resistances, and they're affected by negative and positive energy, like an undead would be. Backgrounds. So this is new. I'm not familiar with the backgrounds. What do they do? Oh, okay. It adds like class skills. A craftsman here. Let's see. Farmhand adds athletic and lore nature to the list of her class skills, becomes proficient with scythes, and gets a +1 bonus on fortitude saving throws. Hand axes, battle axes, and great axes. Light and heavy picks. Light hammers and war hammers. Proficient with rapiers. Adds persuasion and trickery to the her class skills. Oh, this is cool. I like the backgrounds. Well, the small... I don't know... Well, I guess that makes sense. But then the smaller races, you can mount... Might be able to do it with the smaller races from the get-go, then. So I know they can mount smaller animal companions as well. Take care, Mr. Karasher. I'm trying to look for the one that has spear proficiency, since they don't have lances. Some really cool stuff here. Oh, okay. Regional. Here we go. This would work well with the Dompier, since I get that bonus to the diplomacy checks anyway. So the Andoran Diplomat might be worth checking out. Take care, man. I thought about a Gnome Cavalier. I don't really care for gnomes, though. And there's already a Gnome Companion, so I think that's a little redundant. I'm trying to go with something that isn't covered by companions. Trying to look for what I'm going to use for my character when I finally let's play the game. I know it's a ways off, so some of these may change, but scimitars. Warrior of the Linorm Kings. This sounds cool. Adds mobility to the list of her class skills, becomes proficient with hand axes, battle axes, and great axes. And 5 cold resistance. So you have to be an atheist for this, for the Rahadum Faithless, which sounds super cool. Alright, Scholar. This is cool, so you can kind of like, almost multi-class. So select one cantrip from a wizard list and get it as a spell-like ability at will. And then from a cleric list, and then from the druid list. So you can use cantrips as a non-spellcaster class. That's really cool. Like, this game has so much. Like, there's no way I can cover it all in tonight's stream. I'm just giving everybody a quick overview of what's available. And I'm going to make my character. I'm not going to start the game. I'm just going to make a character. I'm trying to find the one that gives a bonus to spears. I may have gone past it already. Quarter staves. This might be worth it, though. Nomad's Animal Companion gets a +3 bonus to maximum hit points. I mean, it's only +3. Maybe not. Tridents. I wonder if a trident will work with the Cavalier. Instead of just the spear. Here we go. So it looks like the mercenary is the way to go. Because spears, long spears, and javelins. So obviously on puppetry strength, may as well just go right up to 20. I don't like negative modifiers. There we go. First 2 levels, dexterity and charisma. Our first 2 points I get to allocate. Because I get the +2 to heavy armor, since I will be wearing heavy armor as a cavalier. So this will be what my stats look like come time. Oh yeah, this is absurd. And I'm blitzing through it real fast. I'll take my time when I actually make my character. Though this is a rough estimate of what my character will look like when I do Let's Play the game. At least for right now. I may change my mind, but since they announced the game and the Cavalier, this has been my plan. You're right, it does add proficiency, doesn't it? So maybe I should go for something else. The diplomacy one. The Aldoran Diplomat. Or Andoran Diplomat. That's why, yeah, you're right. No, you're right, I don't need it. So persuasion, of course. What else? It's knowledge, world, and athletics. Perfect. Oh, I like the little symbols they have for these. That's new. Oh, holy crap, that's a lot of feats. And look, they show the feats that you unlock as you go. Cool. They even show feats you can't get, like, I can't get crane style or crane wing yet. Neat. But it does allow you to plan. So many feats. No, I've already done a paladin and as a paladin companion. As much as I would love to play a paladin, cavaliers are another one of my favorite classes. And we're actually a paladin in Baldur's Gate, so... No, I'll be doing a cavalier when I actually start the game. Alright, what do we want to start with? I guess let's grab armor focus. Boom. Alright, so these are the orders for the cavalier. Which one do I want? I am familiar with these, or I'm familiar with some of them. I only knew the cockatrice, the lion. These are the only 2 that I knew were going to be in the game. The other 3 are unfamiliar to me. Because I did read up on the cavalier a bit once they announced it. And got familiar with some of the stuff. So what does this do? Well, this sounds perfect. Because I am playing a very glory-focused character. Cool, dazzling display. I love dazzling display on my characters, because I usually build a charisma-based character. Oh, +2 morale bonus on melee attack rolls made against targets under fear effects. Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading that, then it's been a while though, since I planned my character. But yeah, the cockatrice, I don't like the way it sounds. Like, I want to be named after a chicken-headed monster that breathes poison, but whatever. Yes, Cavalier is different than the Paladin class from Baldur's Gate. It's all martial. It doesn't have any spell casting abilities. It uses a standard, or if you're a Knight of the Wall, you use a shield as an icon to inspire your allies. It's kind of Inquisitor, because it gives your teammates teamwork feats when you use your standard. Either your standard or your shield, depending on what it is. And they have a challenge ability, which kind of works like a taunt. So when a Cavalier taunts an enemy, depending on the order, it has different effects. But typically, if the enemy that's taunted or challenged is not attacking the Cavalier, they take a penalty to their attack, or they take some sort of penalty, or so they're hurt in some way for not attacking the Cavalier. But yeah, Cockatrice is probably the one I'm going to take. I'm going to look at all these real fast, though. +1 dodge bonus. Yeah, so this might be good for the Knight of the Wall. No, this is pretty good, too. But yeah, it doesn't really play with the Gendarme. The Gendarme is very all about himself anyway. But yeah, if you're going the Standard Bearer or the Knight of the Wall, Order of the Line would probably be good. Don't know what the Order of the Shroud does. Yes, this is the beta version of Wrath of the Righteous that just came out today. To the public. I've had it for a week, not to toot my own horn or anything. But I'm a pretty big deal. So alright, so he's a good against the undead. Yeah. This would be good if you wanted to roleplay like a Paladin into a Cavalier. Going Order of the Shroud would be good. It would fit that theme. Thanks, Pominator. No, this is still using the first edition of Pathfinder rules because it's what they know. So they didn't, because they asked about that. Like, why did they still? During the Q&A, someone asked why they're going with first edition still, and it's because it translates well to video game format. They've worked with it before, they're familiar with it, and they like it, and so that's what they're going to keep pushing out. Plus, this, I'm pretty sure this adventure path was first edition anyway, so it's easier to translate. Alright, so sounds really cool, but I don't want to be restricted to an alignment in this playthrough, so I won't be going Order of the Sword. Though I do like the mounted focused combat. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go Order of the Cockatrice. Okay, Animal Companion, how do I... Oh. Oh, the Smilodon's the only one available right now. That's kind of lame. So yeah, 7 levels, size becomes large, strength +8, dex -2, con +4, +2 natural armor, gains pounce. I wonder if you can use pounce while you're mounted on him. So Blood Drinker is specific to the Dhampir. 3 times per day you can drink blood from an unconscious, helpless, sleeping, or paralyzed living creature. You can also drink blood from corpses of living creatures. Whenever you drink blood from such a creature, you gain 5 temporary hit points, +5 for every 3 hit dice you have, and +1 bonus of 42 saving throws. The effects last 1 hour. That's kind of cool. So I gotta start paralyzing people to drink their blood. Long spear. See, it's weird that one. Where's it at? What was it they required atheism? Oh, it was one of the backgrounds. So you have to come here and select atheism, then go back to the backgrounds to select that. I don't like that. You would have picked this first and then pick your background check. Or not your background check, your background. Yeah, I like that too. And you don't have to follow a deity either, because you can make a vow for a specific action you're taking, or even to your weapon or something like that in 5e. There's a lot more freedom for paladins, which I greatly appreciate. That's something I like in Pillars of Eternity as well, where you're benefited for playing a certain way, but you don't have to. And even playing that certain way, there's still some more leniency there. Yeah, there's animal companions in the first one, but this one is a lot more focused on animal companions, since now you can mount them. I said earlier in the stream, they're working on allowing us to name the animal companions. Thank goodness. And I think they said there was going to be armor for animal companions as well. Though you can't change their aesthetic, like their color and fur pattern, stuff like that. But he did say armor, like basic armor. Not as in-depth as your characters. Alright, where is... Lamashtu doesn't have a... Is that her symbol? No. So it looks out of place. Yeah, I think that's a placeholder. Where is... Oh, there it is. Iomadai, of course, for glory. And war. Fits my character. Are these the recommended? Can I be anything? I'll be neutral good, I guess. I want to be chaotic good. Am I limited by my order? Alright, let's get to the meat of this. Body type, there's only one body type. I kind of like that. I haven't heard anything about it, but I haven't really been keeping up with it either. There's been too many other games for me to keep track of to look at for Avowed. Is it the same hairstyle twice? Well, it is beta. Honestly, I kind of like that. We'll change the hair color, though. I don't know, I guess that works. Ooh, I like the gray. Oh, so many... Holy crap, there's so many pages for colors. You know, I probably go something a little brighter since I'm going for a glory-based roleplay character. Don't really care for the yellow, though. I think purple. Again, I don't think purple is represented enough, just in general, so... Oh, better idea. Let's do it this way. So I feel like that's just not enough purple, though. There's a lot of color options. I like it. Yeah, I think having it the other way is better. See, it's just... I just need a different color. I think it's too much yellow. Let's do purple across the board then. I mean, it doesn't matter right now. I'll decide later. Oh, I can't hear this.
Get it off me! A mere flesh wound.
I have no need for this.
We cannot be defeated.
A solid plan.
None shall escape! Calm down. Not march.
I can find better.
So it comes to this. This is my path.
Yeah, brave, of course. Alright, and then Don Quixote. There we go. You know, back when I watched basketball, I was a Lakers fan, yeah. There we go. That's the character creation, I think. Is that?
Adventures await.
Oh, except Inspire Rage. Okay, I was like, I shouldn't have Inspire Rage with this class and race. Yeah, so you do start with Mount Companion at level 1. I guess it depends on the creature you have as your companion, whether or not you can mount it in the beginning. Because they do have to be a size larger than you. It's gonna hurt being a Cavalier with 11 health. But I did it with the Sword Lord. The Sword Lord had 10 health when I played it, so I think it'll be okay. But yeah, so that's character creation. A lot going on. I mean, look at this character sheet here. This is absurd. I mean, there's so many tabs up here. Like, they had to add arrows to go through all the tabs. Nah, you can do it with a regular size or medium-sized race. Because there's gonna be other, like, I'm sure the dinosaurs will count as large from the get-go, and horses will be large. I just think most of the ones from Kingmaker will be considered medium, but they're adding more mounts, more animal companions in Wrath of the Righteous, so you should be able to mount from level 1. Horses, dinosaurs, I'm sure there might be a dragon mount. One of the mythic paths does get a dragon, though you don't... It won't be fully grown until later in the game. So... And that's why I'm split about which mythic path I want to take. There's a couple I'm interested in for this class specifically. Because one of them does seem to benefit a mounted class like the Cavalier. The other one just sounds really cool, so... How about a T-Rex? I know there's a Triceratops. I don't see why there wouldn't be a T-Rex, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. But yeah, there's other character creation in almost all of its glory. I didn't cover everything. There's a lot to cover, and... So I'm not going to cover everything. There's no way. But there's a ton. I do really like this portrait here. As again, this is my face, my hair, and everything doesn't normally get represented in games, but this is the closest I've ever had in a game to what I look like. So. Yeah, because even Pathfinder has different types of paladins. They have like the gray paladins, which are neutral. Like there are other paladin orders. I mean, Hell Knights are they work like a paladin. They're just anti-chaos, but they can be lawful neutral, lawful good, lawful evil. But yeah, if I wasn't going to Dompier, I would definitely go this portrait for my first playthrough, but this is only one Dompier portrait. This isn't a Dompier, this is a Tiefling. Also, I do really like this portrait as well. The Oreads look really cool. Sad the Dompiers don't have any facial hair, though. I guess it's always my second playthrough, and I can play this guy. But is there anything else you guys want to see besides gameplay? Because I will not be starting a campaign. Or any other questions? I have some information from the Q&A I can probably pull up. Sadly, the answers aren't transcripted, just the questions are. So I'd have to actually, if there's something I don't remember, I'd have to go back and actually watch the Q&A to get the answer. But I think I remember everything that was asked and answered. Yeah, where was the other... Yeah, the War Priest Shieldbearer might be a future playthrough for me as well. War Priest, Paladin, and Cavalier. On the Blood Rager, the Steelblood sounds pretty cool too. There's a lot of really cool classes here. I might do more than 3 Let's Plays, or more than 3 playthroughs of this one. We'll see. Full caster run? I don't know. I don't know. Oh no, I do remember the Brown Fur Transmuter. Yeah, I've looked into this one before. It did sound pretty cool. Because I don't normally care for spellcasters, but I've always wanted to do like a shape-shifting druid playthrough. I started a Dragon Age Origins. I started a shapeshifter playthrough, but it's just so underwhelming. I never finished it. And I tried to play on Nightmare, which is a whole nother nightmare. Druid shapeshifters I've always liked, so long as it's viable. Like shapeshifting in Baldur's Gate is viable. You can do it, but it's not super exciting. I don't know, maybe. If they add another game mode like Beneath the Stolen Lands, I'll play around with a bunch of different builds anyway. But oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why they're locked behind an alignment, is because they're so powerful. They're going to be even more powerful in this game, considering you're going to be fighting a lot of demons, a lot of evil creatures, and that's where they really shine. Yeah. No, I like the sound of the Blood Rager as well. Again, I'm not against spellcasters, but they have to be melee-focused spellcasters. Pure spellcasters, not really my jam. Yeah, the Steel Blood, I think it's one I'm going to go for, because I like heavy armor. That's my thing. Oh, did it? I didn't pay that much attention. I played with a druid a little bit in Beneath the Stolen Lands, but I didn't actually look at the stats when I shapeshifted. No, I don't think Lindsay's returning. I've heard... Again, I'm not trying to spoil anything for myself, but I have heard that there is a certain character that returns in this one. But I don't think any of the companions do. Honestly, I didn't like Lindsay. She earned her spot in my second playthrough, but I didn't really care for her as a companion. Akundayo and Harem, on the other hand, were some cool cats. And I liked Canera and Kalika. Well, I don't think he's saying Lindsay specifically, just that another gnome storyteller like her. And spoil away, this is the sequel. Yeah, you can spoil Kingmaker. This is the next game. If you haven't played Kingmaker and you're trying to play this game, play Kingmaker first, and then come back to this one. I know they're not actually connected story-wise, but I mean, you've got several months to wait, so why not? I don't know, she stole from me. I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, I'm sure I'll do a Hell Knight playthrough at some point. Don't know how I want to do that, though. I know, we'll see. We'll see how many DLC and stuff come out for it, too. Like, there'll be... I'm sure they'll add, like, other side campaigns and stuff. I did ask about future DLC. They're not even thinking about it yet, because they're still working on this. At least that's the answer that I got, so... Actually, you know what? I can do something real fast. Let me... Whoops. Did that wrong. Yeah, anything's better than Tristian. Oh, that dude is a monster. And people whatever. Like, Iravetti would have been a better companion than Tristian. I really wish Sven was a, you could use Sven's portrait. But does Sven have a portrait? I'm pretty sure he did. Now I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, the Tiefling twins were pretty cool. I did like them as companions. Them, Ekundayo, and Harem were my three favorites. Don't like this guy. This guy sucks. Why is there two different portraits for this? Oh, her hand's open. I don't remember her portrait changing in the first game. When did it change? What was the prerequisite to make it change? I guess when they weren't hiding their identity anymore. I guess when you find out that they're twins. Because then they don't have to hide their elements. Yeah, like, you know, he knew he was a monster. He didn't try to tug on your heartstrings after, you know, he killed how many people, how many of your subjects? So, you know, I still haven't actually used Knock Knock in a playthrough. I don't care for dual wielding rogues. It's not my thing. Right? Yeah, these are my two favorite portraits. Hands down. From the first game. I mean, I don't... His portrait doesn't really stand out. I love the Stag Lord as a villain. He was such a good first boss. No, I know. I know he's OP. I don't care for dual wielding rogues. I never have. I like him as a character as well. A lot of good characters. Cephal's portrait's pretty good too. I wish he was doing something a little different with the rest of his, like his hands or something. I don't know. But his face, like, he has a really good face. Like this portrait here is really good. This one always reminds me of Kavan from Baldur's Gate, who's one of my favorite companions from Baldur's Gate. At some point, I'll do a Baldur's Gate playthrough with all my actual favorite companions and not the canon companions. Because I could bring Zan along with me, Kavan, Wilson. There's some I don't like Tristian. In fact, Tristian is the only one that I hate. I can dig the rest of them, but Tristian can go pound sand. Yeah, I think they've got it handled. Wrath of the Righteous is panning out to be an excellent game. I mean, I haven't played it, just based on the character creation and what I've seen and what was asked and answered. I can say, like, it just looks really good. Yeah, I do like when you recruit Tartuk or Tartuccio as a companion. I wish that his King Tartuk was a portrait here. I mean, I know you can't play a kobold, but you also can't play a troll. So, I mean, if this is here, give me Tartuk. Yeah, in fact, Tristian is the only companion that I will actively not use. I mean, I didn't play Knock Knock just because he never really fit my party. But I wasn't adverse to using him, even though I don't like dual-wield rogues. I do like him as a companion, but not this guy. But yeah. So that is the Wrath of the Righteous, at least beta character creation. Not going to show gameplay until the game is fully released, because I don't want to spoil anything for myself. There are plenty of people doing Let's Plays of it currently. Don't go watch them. Wait till September. Alright? Wait until I start my Let's Play. Yeah, I'm going to say that he is. Because he's not a frontliner, and all he's good for is healing. I don't like healing in combat. Harem makes for a much better companion than Tristian does, if you're looking for a cleric, because he's a decent tank. You know, he's a good pseudo tank in case your main tank goes down. Since he's on the front line, you can bounce teamwork feats off of him, like Onslaught, Shield Wall, things like that. Where Tristian's just up with a crossbow in the back. Yeah, you can heal, but you don't want to heal in combat. You want to be doing something else in combat, like attacking or, you know. And then Harem, you can also put like Aspect of Fear, Angelic Aspect, other buffs that require him to be in like close proximity to get the benefit. Archon's Aura, things like that. He doesn't do that. I mean, I know he can use fire spells or whatever. Nah. I mean, yeah, he doesn't fit my playstyle. yeah, he never lies, right? Yeah, I mean, if you multi-class him, I don't tend to multi-class, which is my own fault. So. I like keeping the narrative companions as their base classes for the most part. I think I did multi-class her with Vivisectionist and Lindsay with Freebooter, because Freebooter's Bane is just, it's a really good ability. I made her a Stalwart Defender, but I think she's meant to be a Stalwart Defender anyway. I made him a Dragon Disciple. Again, I think he was designed to become a Dragon Disciple. Like, it fits his whole shtick. Then Arcane Trickster, of course. I mean, I try to build native companions as they seem to be intended to be built. I'll do a lot of multi-classing with them. But yeah, if y'all don't have any questions or anything else y'all want to see, I think that's gonna do it for the stream tonight. I just want to show off some of the stuff that I've had access to for a whole week, not to brag, but yeah, since they did me the courtesy of inviting me to the Q&A and giving me all this stuff early, I wanted to show it to everybody as a courtesy to them. So. Well, Tristian doesn't make the best choices, does he? That's not what he's known for. His firm decision-making skills. Oh, I know. I'm talking him up right now. This portrait just stands out so much. Like, the color scheme is just so much different than all the other portraits. Yeah, I'm hoping when they do the male Dompier art that they do a like a heavy armor Dompier, preferably with a lance and or spear, so that it fits my character. Also, I do really like this portrait. I'm just excited because I don't think, like, Pillars of Eternity, I don't think there's any bearded portraits, are there? And then our default portraits for this, I mean, the bearded classes with the dwarf. I mean, this guy. But I never played a spellcaster, so that wouldn't have fit. I mean, he has some scruff here. I thought I said he's wrote Vermintide. I've been playing some Vermintide too lately with the Chaos Waste expansion in preparation for Darktide. But yeah, if there's no questions, I am gonna wrap up the stream. I've been diddling around, and it's time for me to go. So I like using the default portraits. Again, it's all about inclusivity for the Let's Play. That's why I don't use mods and stuff, because not everybody can mod. Not everybody's going to add custom portraits and things like that. You know, keep it simple. Only time I mod anything is if I need to make the game run or to make it fit on my native resolution. I don't really try to after that. Though I will mod KOTOR 2 when I play that with the restored content mod. Even though I never finished the base game, so. But I know that there's a lot of missing content in KOTOR 2, so. that's a conversation for another time. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the stream, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the very sneak peek, not very sneak peek, very small peek into Wrath of the Righteous. If my impatience gets the better of me, I might stream some of this. I don't know. I do plan on waiting till September when it comes out, but I was planning on only waiting till June. But now that it's been pushed back to September, that's a whole nother ball game. So we'll see. Don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but there's still a lot of other games for me to play. Like Solasta comes out this month. You know, Encased might come out at some point. Trudegrad comes out. Well, it comes out around when this comes out, actually. That's not going to fit my schedule, is it? Huh. Well, either way, take care, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys, well, I guess this weekend. So, come back and watch some Marmello. Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. Or a different game. I don't know. Might play something else. I've been enjoying my time with Marmello, so it'll probably be that. Either way, take care. Have a good rest of your day or night. Stay safe, stay classy. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.